Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Stilazzi with yet another Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition Casa game. Today we're going to be doing a 1 versus 1 between the French with Kaichitushki here, and up here we got the Indians. It's fun to see another Indian game again today. We saw one yesterday. I love Indian games, it's my favorite civ. Before we get started, let's look at the map real quick. Now, this is a map I've done quite a few times in ranked. You know, sometimes it goes well, sometimes not so much. You got these little fords in the river here that you can cross. And clearly, as you see here, these rivers also act as a trade route in two directions. You got one that goes horizontally here, and then you get the vertical one that comes up through here. And then you got some European natives. You got the House of Habsburg, and you got the House of Wettin, two very Germanic natives. Let's get started and see how this match goes, shall we? Alright, so India. Yeah, India is a very fun civ. We saw them play yesterday, though they didn't win. Spoilers. Yeah, but anyways, Indians are actually a really strong civ, you know. You should not have any problems playing India. The biggest thing of them is obviously having villagers that cost wood. Their shipments also provide one free villager each, so that's a neat little bonus they get. And they get some pretty nice wonders too when they age up. So it's going to be interesting to see if this very elfin-centric civ will do well here or not. On the other side, of course, you got the French. The French are, how can I describe French? They're basically good at nothing, but not bad at anything either, you know. They're just a straight line, middle of the road civ. Yeah, that's sort of the way they cash out, really, you know. They're as medium can get, you know, France. They do get these really good villagers, the courier de bois. They have a really good gather rate. They're a little bit more expensive, but they make up for that in stats, since, you know, they have 40% pierce armor, as well as a decent range attack. So they can be used in some combat situations. Good thing that 3 are being shipped from the home city, though. Yeah, indeed. As far as deck is concerned, pretty standard looking French deck, I would say. I mean, this is interesting. 10 courier de bois. Perhaps we're going to see a bit of an FI here with the coin chest. Perhaps. I do see 4 culverins, which is cool. Infinite cuirassiers. The super splashy cav. Now this is interesting. We got Sensuous. Improves armor and HP of pikes, halberds, and crossbowmen. I haven't used that one too much. I always include it in my decks, but I never quite get to it in my games for some reason, you know. Never quite get to it. You'd think that I would because I like halbs so much, but yeah, I should probably try to use that card a little bit more when I stick in my deck. Definitely. How about the other side? Distributivism. This is like the only Age 1 card you could start with, otherwise you're not going to do good as India. You really need that wood trickle to help in your villi production as you slowly switch away over to hunts. Because as India, since your villies cost wood, you initially start with a bit of choppy and then you go hunty to help you age up in time. It looks like it'd be age up with about 13 vills since I just got one free one from the card. What one are they building? So it's an Agra. Yep, that's definitely an Agra. Agra, wow, right in this aggressive spot right here, right in this little quarter of the map here. It looks almost like a Pokeball of some kind, you know, with the little circle and the lines through it, yeah. So they're going to be going on to the top right land piece here, and they'll be able to attack all the way down here in a straight line. India making sure to have enough wood choppers just to get the bare minimum wood needed to get villies, but they are going to be having some on the coin right now. This is usually a good idea since it lets you train sepoys right out of the gate, and you can usually get a decent number of them. If you look at the deck here, they do have the option of going for the mid game since they got both Mahout cards, the Siege Elephant, the Gurks, the Sepoys. Yeah, this is pretty much almost how most people does a India deck, except most people do the Zambabaraks instead of the Sepoys, but this works pretty fine on its own too. A lot of H4 cards, so maybe this will be something here. 4 Mahouts, 3 Siege Elephants. I do like the Mysorean Rockets. I always go with that, you know, in 1 versus 1 in team games. The Sepoys, I don't know. I don't know if I'd like them that late in the game. Or I'd just get a lot of elephants and artillery myself. Yeah, but that's just me. You can do whatever you want at this point. Barracks making Exbowmen, Crossbowmen. Yeah, sometimes I call them Exbowmen, sometimes Crossbowmen. Pretty much the same thing, you know, they're archers. They have multipliers against heavy inf, as well as light cavalry, since they're like an early skirmisher unit. That could be a serious problem here if India thinks they're going to get away with a Sepoy attack. You know, it just takes a small group of these crossbowmen, keeping enough distance to be able to take out those Sepoys. It looks like Cords of Wood are coming as well, to help facilitate that, as well as get them enough population to fuel this army ambitions of them. Interesting, so musketeers as well. So, bit of anti-cav. I mean, from a predictability standpoint, you're probably fine without the musketeers initially, since, you know, when do we ever see India go caravanserai with Salwar at the start, right? Like, never. Because usually when you think of France, you think Soren Musket. Well, never mind, we do see Salwars here, so he was on to something, you know, he was on to something. That's very good. He knew about the Salwar shipment. Now, can he put the musketeers in the protective position here? Get the crossbowmen out of the way, though. You really want the musketeers to do their work here with their bayonets. Well, you got one Salwar down. Can you get the others down? Hopefully, nah. Just too few units, it looks like. I mean, hey, if you could get these couriers to, yeah, fight them at least. Don't waste the units. And then you can also try to get some shots in them, maybe, or, yeah, get them in the TC. That way you won't lose them. Do they have enough? The problem with France right now is they don't have enough resources to really train any more musketeers, so they're going to have to rely on crossbowmen at this point. So that could totally be an issue if Ottomans decides to send their diplomatic intrigue and go for the Ottoman consulate, because then you'll have Delhi's added in with these Sepoys. Is that what they're going to do? Not yet, luckily. Luckily, India's just shipping in more Sepoys at the moment. That should buy France a little bit of time to get some crossbowmen up, and maybe think of an anti-cavalry solution. Maybe pikemen to synergize with that Sensua card. How many crossbowmen? 3 crossbowmen? Gonna have to queue up some more, honestly. I mean, look at this mass here. This is serious. I mean, I don't even think crossbowmen can clean this up unless you get, like, serious numbers on them. An outpost, well, that might help a little bit, especially if you got a lot more couriers that you have to, garrison. Oh, Minutemen, yeah, this is probably the time to send the Minutemen, since you're really dealing with a lot of pressure here from infantry. The barracks has gone down, though. Ouch, that's gonna hurt. That's 200 wood that you're gonna have to replenish into another barracks. You know? So, yeah, that's kind of serious. I mean, this is some pretty aggressive India play right now. My question is looking at the macro here, it's looking like India's gonna stick it out on age 2 again for the second consecutive night, it looks like. Yeah, I do see a bit of the market mining tech here too. This would be the level 1 tech for the mining. Just enough coin to keep a queue of Sepoys going, it looks like. Not much else. It's unknown if India will attempt to go Fortress Age at all and get Mahouts at this point. That'd probably be a decent finisher along with the Siege Elephants. So maybe, maybe not. Yeah, certainly you can tell when you're dealing with the Sepoy mass that's this large that the India is definitely thinking of more intense Age 2 gameplay. But then again, we do see 700 coins, so maybe this is more of a semi-FF, I'm guessing. Yeah, I think at this point India's thinking, you know, I got a serious lead here. I got really good map control. I got the Agra Fort here protecting this area, so why not take advantage of that and get up to the next age so I could start really gaining a major unit advantage with my elephants. Because if you got about 2 or 3 Mahouts, you could trample this whole army of infantry here, no problem. Even the little number of musketeers here wouldn't be able to deal with Mahouts. That would just be a very big disaster. And take it from the guy who uses them like all the time. It's one of my favorite units, the Mahout. And it's a controversial unit too. People will tell me that they're broken, that they're OP, that, oh, you gotta nerf this thing. I say no. It's been around since the Asian dynasties, man, and it's good everywhere. You know, it doesn't need to be nerfed. You just need to know when to make pikemen or musketeers, you know. It's on you, man, to make the proper unit class. You know, I can't be your teacher all the time. You gotta make good decisions. Well, yep, Charminar Gate. So India is gonna capitalize on the early successes they've had. Also, we're seeing the barracks go up. This is pretty standard for a Indian fast fortress, or even a semi-fast fortress transition. The point of putting the barracks up is so you can actually get the disciplined veteran upgrade on the sepoys as soon as you get to age 3. So that way you're usually rushing with like 3 Mahouts and 17 or even more veteran sepoys. So you got a strong anti-cav unit, and then you get a strong anti-skirmish unit. And usually that alone can win you a game, usually. I mean, unless it's like British and they're going full musketeer mass, so 2 or 3 barracks, that's usually going to be a win condition for you. However, for the French, what could they possibly do? So we do see Saint-Suisse coming out, Suisses. This will boost the HP and armor of the crossbowmen he has right now. But from the looks of it, we don't see a lot of crossbowmen. We do see musketeers here. It looks like a change over to hussars. So, yeah, it's kind of a smorgasbord of stuff right now. Not really a big concentrated force of anything. Except maybe the muskets, yeah. 15 muskets is kind of substantial, so I'll give him that. But I don't know why he would have sent... well, it looks like, frankly, because they're running out of cards to send. Honestly, the infantry hit point card here would have been a little bit better. Ranged infantry hit points, since that benefits the muskets. You know, and they seem to be the majority of your army at this point. Well, will they attack in this transition period? Well, the transition period has actually ended. The wonder is now up. And the Mahouts are already coming in. For those that think that the 1k food card for the Mahouts, the 3 Mahouts, is too expensive, it's not expensive at all. You just need to make sure you're staying on hunts for most of your age. To the 3 transition, you can usually afford the 1k Mahout shipment right out of the gate, honestly. You don't have to start with the 2 Mahouts. You can usually start with the 3 Mahouts and then follow up with that with the 2 Mahouts, and then you have 5 elephants in the room to deal with. So yeah, it's definitely something for you to keep in mind from my personal experience playing the Civ. Yeah, and with this Mahout here that he got from the Wonder Age up, that means he's going to have about 6 elephants if he sends the second Mahout card. Unreal, you know, it's really an unreal situation if you're not prepared for it, because you'll have somebody with like 30 skirmishers and 20 musk or something, and they just get stomped on by him. And any infantry in the back here, like Gurkhas and Sepoys, forget about it. That's a win for you. It looks like India's going to be trying to deal with this outpost first, but they're going to engage with the army. Now, this is kind of serious here. The Mahouts with their splash actually insta-killed the Minutemen. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, that's why Mahouts can be pretty dangerous with their splash attack. But unfortunately, French has dedicated their army to musketeers, so yeah, way too many bayonets for those elephants to deal with. They just got poked to death. Try to avoid that, you know, if you know you're dealing with a large army of like ranged heavy infantry, like musketeers or something, don't go in with your mahouts just yet. Go back, make 10, 15 Gurkhas and try again, you know. If you got enough range support, the mahouts can usually get the job done, but if you only have like a group of sepoys and maybe a couple Gurkhas, the maths usually works against you unless their numbers are smaller, that of the enemy. Now India's going to have to rely on mahout number 2 here, which gives you 2 mahouts. A little bit weaker, but a lot cheaper. You know, it's about 350 food instead of the 1k food to get 3 of the elephants in. Okay, so watch those sepoys because you're kind of outnumbered right now. You don't want to lose them for free, man. And that's exactly what happened. You lost about 2 for free, like basically 3. 3 for 3, 3, 3. 3 free. Another one is down, so India is losing units for free here, just about, and that's kind of serious, you know. They're out of food right now. You know, they really can't afford to lose any more units at this point. Forced to go back to the consulate. It's on the British to boost up the HP of the mahouts, really, since British consulate boosts unit HP, which really benefits the elephant units more than the others. Some redcoats coming in from the British consulate. These combined with the 2 mahouts. I don't think you have the army you need right now. You need to play this carefully. You do not want to lose these elephants as quickly as you lost the last ones, because if you lose these elephants, you're good as gone. You know, you're gonna have to come up with some magical trick to get all the food that you need to come back from that if you lose these elephants. So really, just don't lose the elephants. The elephant in the room is the thing keeping you alive right now, so don't waste it. Alright, so he's engaging probably out of desperation. He's getting some kills out of it, you know, I will say that. He's getting some casualties. Yeah, get out of there with that one, you know. It's like 110 HP. It's not going to last very long. You can kind of survive right now with just a little group of redcoats doing the work. Shipping in some Gurkhas. That's the other unit you probably need for musketeers. Also, where's his monks? This is serious. I mean, I would have hoped you would have had one of your monks at home to heal up the elephant before the next fight starts, because he's looking a little bit meager right now. As for France, how are they doing economically? Yeah, see, at this point, France, if they sent, actually, they've burned through their coin chests just trying to defend and attack earlier. So once France gets to that magical 1k coin number, they might be able to go to Fortress Age themselves and get some better units. But at this rate, they seem to have the unit numbers advanced, so they can probably wait off on that a little bit longer. You know, 10 hussars, now 15 hussars, as well as that big mask of muskets. That might be just enough to cause serious pressure to this Indian opponent here, you know? You might not even have to go up to age 3 just yet if you can play it right. You see here that France in the age behind is actually about 2k points ahead, 3k points ahead, and starting to take control of the trade routes too, which is really important. Because that XP upon hitting age 3, you're going to be able to quickly send falcons, dragoons, skirmishers. Also the coins, so you can get the even better age 4 cards, you know. That would definitely push France ahead of India. And they're already starting to go for the age 3 right now, it looks like. With the marksmen, so this is going to grant them some free skirmishers. Great unit to deal with things like the redcoats here, and sometimes even the Gurkhas. Well, actually, yeah, the Gurkhas, because these aren't even discipline upgraded, so these are just age 2 Gurkhas at this point. It's going to have to give them the discipline upgrade to get them up to the veteran level. Yeah, I mean, this has been an interesting match to say the least, because it felt like at the beginning India was dominating. They were rocking their Age 2 phase of the semi-FF, and then they just let it sort of fall apart and they wasted their elephants. Like, I would have never wasted my elephants like that, because I know the elephants, you treat them like gold, like they're precious jewels of your army, because once you lose the elephants, you lose the whole fast fortress advantage, or the semi-fast fortress advantage, depending on how quick you went up there. The only reason you really care about fast fortress at all with India is because of the elephants. So if you lose the elephants, you're not in good shape. Just remember that, you know. When I'm India, I promise I will not waste my elephants, or I may as well just stay in Age 2 and sepoy it out. Now, this is discomforting to India. France is feeling so confident in their trade route control that they're actually going to start upgrading the trade route to some bigger boats through waterways, just so they can get some actual resources from the trading posts and a bit faster travel speed along those waters. Yeah, at this rate, yeah. Is France gonna attack, or they just scout ahead a little bit? We do see India putting a bit of a wall down on the ford here to keep the French out for a little while, if possible. But do they know about that? Surprisingly, France did not have the line of sight to actually see that wall coming up. I imagine if they saw that wall coming up, they probably would just attack that Indian villager to cause a bit of damage, but lucky France was blind enough to let that wall come up for India. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this France here, serious numbers. Now, veteran musketeers and veteran hussars, so now they're keeping up with their upgrades. Yeah, it's a total reversal. You know, now France is the one in control and the one dealing forward-facing damage here, because they got their little outposts on this side of the map, so they can technically apply a lot of map control pressure from here, using the little tower to provide some range support, and a safe place for villagers to hide as well, so they can do some forward buildings later. Yeah, I mean, honestly, 3 falcons as well as 2 ship falcons, 5 cannons. That might just be enough to finish this off, you know, because I really, well, we do see Napoleon guns from India, from their monastery. Yeah, so this does give India a bit of anti-infantry advantage in the form of these guns. They're basically as strong as a Swedish lever gun, which is, you know, a pretty cheap and low pop cannon, so they don't do a lot of damage, but they do a certain amount of damage, you know, that you might consider effective. Yeah, these are going to go down to, well, I remember with Swedish, because of their card, they actually are a little bit lesser in pop, but 4 pop is still pretty good for a cannon, I would say, even if it's weak. This means that India could technically mass up a lot of these. Let's see how much coin they got. How much do these cost? Oh, 450 coin. Yeah, that's kind of expensive, though. So, India better hope that these Napoleon guns don't go down so easily. Yeah, definitely. Are they even ready to engage with the serious fight at this point? Because what I see here is veteran sepoys. Now this is what India's going to do. They're using Mansabdars to boost up their units. They got the Mansabdar Sawar, the Mansabdar Sepoy, and the Mansabdar Gurkha. This basically boosts the stats of the other units around the Mansabdar of that. You can only make about 1 Mansabdar per unit, just to keep it from getting out of hand. And the fact that there's all the Mansabdars for the units you have, it's like having an extra upgrade. Mansabdar Rajput. I don't know about this. You did really need to make the Rajput. The reason being you don't have any Rajputs on the field, so you lose that aura advantage. Yeah, that's kind of questionable, honestly. Why did you go with that? Oh, culverins. Yeah, I mean, at this rate, culverins could be really good against the Napoleon guns that are coming out of India. That combined with the Falcons will basically keep forcing the Indian army back further and further away, into the point that their town center will be threatened. Yeah, India just desperate at this point just to survive, you know. They lost their Mansabdar of Sepoy, so they are trying another one from the Charminar Gate. Also, from what I saw, more redcoats are coming out from the consulate, the British consulate. Looks like the final countdown is near for a fight. You know, look at the size of this army. We're dealing with the 135 population army from India, with the siege elephants in queue from the home city, whereas France, they've actually maxed out their entire population, 200 pop. This means that France is really outnumbering the Indian army at this point. And it's not like they're unupgraded units either, you know, they got Falcons, culverins, veteran hussars, even some dragoons here. The dragoons are really going to deny any additional cavalry threats. The falconets, the infantry, the culverins, the artillery. So really the best India can do right now is just ship the siege elephants in and try to Now that was awesome. Did you see that? 3 falconets down instantly. You know, it's going to take those kind of plays as India to survive this, you know, those miraculous plays. If they can do that again a couple more times and maybe take out the other Falcons here, maybe make a bit of a comeback here. But until you get the Falcons out, you're going to slowly get squeezed out here by these artillery units. France opting to train more dragoons, ship in skirmishers. Makes total sense. You know, you need something to protect those Falcons from a variety of sources. Samurai barracks would be a threat to the can, so that's why you need the skirmishers. And then you have to worry about things like Sawars, attacking them in melee, so that's why you see the dragoons, since they can pick off cav pretty easily. But honestly, at this point, yeah, see, this is serious. Because the siege elephants were on the front lines of the skirmish here, the French army was able to take out the siege elephants even without the help of the culverins until the last one. If I believe I was watching properly, I think the culverins did shoot the second siege elephant down, but probably didn't even need them because you got so many things like dragoons and musketeers at work. They can start targeting down those siege elephants pretty easily. Basically sniping them, because remember, though elephants are very strong, if you have too little of them, you give your enemy the opportunity to single them out and target them, you know, and pick them off, basically, with like a large mass of infantry and light cavalry, usually. Yeah, did you see those tigers? Yeah, I think I saw white tigers there. That's interesting. I don't always see the Indian explorers make that usually. It's certainly a neat pet, I can imagine, similar to the war dogs of Spain, which you see a lot more of. What do we have here? We have French Royal Army, so this will let the musketeers here get promotions. So every time they kill something, they're going to get more HP and attack from their specific promotion, all the way up to level 3. So yeah, that's going to make a big incentive for these musketeers to do well. 4 more falconets from France. Yeah, the French economy has flourished. How many courier de bois do they have? 52. Now that's pretty interesting because that's actually over one half of the build limit of 80. So they're looking on the upper side of their economy at this point. Whereas India, though, has mostly, ever since the initial successes they had, has been stuck in their base. Haven't really had a chance to economically grow out. GG. They just called it. Yeah, good job, France, you know. France did really good here. Really good, you know. Even going for petards, it looks like. Yeah, that's good. That'll help get things along a little bit quicker. But as I was saying, France did a good job at lasting here, stalling it out. Then once France started getting their unit mass together, essentially they were able to do some serious beating of this enemy here, you know. Just a basic large mass of musketeers was enough to deal with the Mahouts and destroy the Indian army advantage. That's all it took, really. Nothing much else. Just shows you sometimes if you keep something simple, you know, you usually can do better. You don't need all these fancy unit shipments. You just need to macro out a proper army and then you can beat them. Starting to go for the team ranged infantry combat, or attack rather. That will help the skirms, the veteran musketeers, and I think any other ranged infantry that comes out of the tavern. So, quite a useful card indeed. Yeah, what's India? Yeah, see, India's on the last quadrant that they control, which is where the Agra fort was initially. India pretty desperate at this point to push back. What do they have to push back with, though? Well, they actually do have a bit of food and coin to keep up with just to make the elephant. Here comes the Howdahs and the Mahouts. Yeah, I like these Howdahs in Arena. You know, if you can keep them in a safe place, sometimes the Howdahs in Arena can kill lots of infantry, I've found. You know, the other infamous unit to go with India, I think, is, let me see, I'm trying to think, like, what's, not Zeppelin. Well, actually, I don't know, I mean, I've seen India a couple of times in Arena, but, sometimes they feel a tad bit weak. I don't know, it's just a personal opinion. Yeah, India has been denied Tiger Claws. They were going to ship some Tiger Claws in, but, you know, denied. And GG. Let's look at the post game, you know. This was a pretty brief match, I would say, in age 2 and 3. Resources, definitely France won out there because they just kept making more couriers and couriers. And they just gathered better. In terms of military, France plowing ahead quite a lot. You know, not quite double the kills, but certainly getting up there. It really was this large mass of veteran musketeers that act as a leveling playing field, you know. Taking out the threat of the elephants that India pose, you know. Just with their bayonets, nothing complicated. Not having to get dragoons upon the fortress age. Just really powerful massing. Regardless of the stats of the units I had, you know. Because I've seen that happen before, like I'll make some mercenary cav if they land in the wrong place at the wrong time and they just get like instantly killed. I'm like, really? Really? I just made that much coin for it and I just lost it, you know. Makes you almost like you're losing it by losing them so easily. Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed that match. Hope to bring you some more. This is a non-royal clan one, just so you know. Hoping to get as many castings in as possible. I love D3 and the multiplayer community and all the wonderful matches they do. See you next time for some more. I'm signing off now of this one. See you on the next one. Adios.